So that now we move to measures of dispersion. Now, dispersion is a measure of how the distribution of data is spread out. It's another way of analyzing data. Measures of dispersion include range, deviations, variance, and standard deviation. Let's see the measures of dispersion for an ungrouped data. These were the ages of students in a class. Range is the difference between the largest and smallest value in a set of data. In this case, range will be equal to 19 minus 13, giving us 6. Deviation is the difference between each piece of data and some fixed value, usually the mean. For example, in our case, the mean for the data was 15.5. Deviation will be calculated as x minus x bar. We can find the deviation of each data from this mean. So let's rewrite our values in column form. X are the observations, and then we have x minus x bar. Recall that x bar is the mean. So 13 minus 15.5 is minus 2.5. 17 minus 15.5 is 1.5. 19 minus 15.5 is 3.5, all the way down. Now, interestingly, if you add the deviations, you will notice that the sum is 0. That is, summation of x minus x bar is 0. But then, since we are only interested in knowing the difference between the individual data and the mean, we do not concern ourselves with which one is larger or smaller than the other between the data and the mean. So we often ignore the negative sign and get what we call the absolute deviations. In this case, if we ignore the signs, we introduce another column for absolute deviations. The absolute value for the first one is 2.5. We have 1.5, 3.5, all the way down up to 0.5. The absolute value or modulus of a number is the magnitude of that number regardless of the sign. When we divide the total absolute deviations by the total number of observations, we get the mean absolute deviation. In this case, the total absolute deviations, that is 2.5 plus 1.5 plus 3.5 all the way down, will give us 19. The total number of observations is 10, so 19 over 10 will give us 1.9. This is the mean absolute deviation. Notice that the deviation in this case is calculated from the true mean and not an assumed mean.